batch machines, and we do 3D food printers. We're the makers of Foodini. Foodini is a 3D food printer, but it's also more. It's also an Internet of Things kitchen appliance. Yeah, a bit of a long story there, but it's pure coincidence. I was in Barcelona when I met my co-founder Emilio. And for me, it's bringing together personal passions of food with my personal technology background. So I got involved by meeting Emilio through my husband actually, and we got started talking about 3D printed food, which to me in the beginning sounded a bit weird, admittedly. First I had to wrap my head around what 3D printing was because I didn't understand it. This was years ago when 3D printing for consumers was new. So once I understood that, then 3D printed food was the topic, and we took it and we swung it around to be actually a very healthy proposition because we print with all fresh, real ingredients. So we started in late 2012, so now we have over 4 years of experience of proving the concept, building the product. So quite a bit of time, but not too much time in the scope of technology and a newer type of technology. So where we are right now is we are actually in production. So we're doing early access production. We're keeping it pretty limited by design because what we're doing is we're working very closely with our clients and our customers that do have Foodini. So we want to learn how chefs and professional kitchen users are making designs, what they want to do, how they use the Internet of Things data connection. So it's very important we have a small enough of a client base where we can actually connect quite frequently, but we are officially in production. Well, bringing Foodini to the market in general has been a fun ride. It's a bit of a roller coaster because we get people that love it and hate it and everybody in between. And the reason for that, it's pretty easy to understand why. It's because food is emotional. We're dealing with food. People get very emotional over food and their diets and what type of food they eat. We believe there's no one right diet for everybody, so everybody has the right to choose their own types of food. However, the big difference with what we do is we do not force people to buy pre-filled food capsules. We ship with empty stainless steel food capsules, which allows people to use their own fresh, real ingredients. We have interest from over 90 countries right now, so that's a lot of different personal favorites and flavors and food types. There's no one right food type, or some people will ask, well, what's the best thing you can print with a 3D food printer? And there's no answer to that. So we have interest from over 90 countries right now. So that's a lot of different food tastes, food flavors. There's no one favorite dish in the world, right? So we allow people to create their own favorite dishes. For me personally, it will change because I'm exposed to a lot of recipes. So as an example, yesterday we were at a 2-star Michelin restaurant, and they printed a dish, several dishes, but there was one that was just fabulous. I can't tell you what it is yet because we're waiting for it to go into the press. However, another of my favorite types of dishes are anything that will make my kids eat healthy. So believe it or not, food presentation is super important, not just for adults, but for kids, of course. So I can actually get my kids to eat spinach when it's 3D printed. When I try to get them to eat spinach in a normal format, it's a lot harder to sell. So I love anything that helps my kids eat healthy. I think with 3D printing, people always think about the fancy shapes. And admittedly, we do show a lot of fancy shapes and designs because that's what people think when they think about 3D printing. But we also ask people to think about not so special shapes like a square cracker. How hard is that? Well, actually, it's quite hard. So if you're making crackers in your kitchen, it's a bit of an experience. You have to have a clean work surface, and as I mentioned, I have kids. It's rare I have a clean kitchen work surface, so I have to first do that. Make the dough, roll it out really thin, transfer to a baking sheet, and make sure you're not using too much flour because it gets too floury, or if you don't use enough flour, it sticks everywhere. So it's a bit of a hassle. But what's really easy is when I make cracker dough, any kind I want, and I 3D print it. And that can just be a square cracker. But I much rather do that than go into a food shop where you have an aisle of crackers, but they're not that great because they've been sitting there on the shelf for a number of months, if not years. So always too much palm oil or salt, things I don't put in my own ingredients. So even from that standpoint, 3D food printing is really useful. I can give you a bigger timeline. So for the next 10 to 15 years, we believe that 3D food printers will become a common kitchen appliance, like a stove or a microwave is in today's kitchen. You're not surprised when you walk into a kitchen and see those appliances. In 10 to 15 years, you're going to see the same thing with 3D food printing. And also I would say to think about 3D food printers like microwaves, not in terms of functionality, but in terms of variety. You have different sizes, different price points, different functionality. So you have a microwave that's right for every type of budget, every type of personality. You'll see the same thing with 3D food printers. So it's not just going to be a one size fits all. You'll see a variety of different types of 3D food printers. Right now with Foodini, we're targeting professional kitchen users. So there are restaurants that are actually putting Foodini in their restaurants to use full time. You'll have a menu item. Now here's the trick. Some of these restaurants don't even advertise it's a 3D printed dish. So you might sit down and see a beautiful presentation and have no idea it's 3D printed. It's actually one of the benefits, because sometimes people think with 3D printing it has to be an odd type of dish or something that's really unique to 3D printing. It is unique, but it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to know. Other restaurants will start advertising that they feature 3D printed food on their dishes, but those aren't public at this point. So I would say to people to keep an eye on our social media sites. Naturalmachines.com is our website. There's links to social media sites there. And as things become public and are announced, we'll be sure to let our audience know.
Alright, that's awesome. That's it for me.
Cool!
Thanks a lot, Lynette.
Anytime you want, I can do Skype interviews, anything for you. You got special access.
Thank you, Lynette. Bye.
Bye.